Hey guys, welcome back to our video. It's me, Passifloria here, and what we're doing today is we're doing an apartment decorating video, and it's going to be a little bit different because since this apartment took a little bit of time to decorate, a little bit meaning like 3 hours, so I decided to just speed it up to have it be a little bit more enjoyable for you. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so we're getting right into it, and so here you can see me just kind of clearing the apartment out and trying to figure out what I want to do with it. So I wanted to change the doors and I wanted to add some sort of windows because I decided to change this apartment from about like a 2-bedroom apartment into a 1-bedroom apartment, but with kind of like a connected walk-in closet. And here you see me realize that after the update, all my doors and windows got messed up. So here's me just trying to figure it out if it's just like some CC items or if it's everything. And then I updated and went back into the game, and now you can see me with the updated game and everything is like fixed. So yeah, I basically just was looking at floors here, and I wanted to do really kind of like neutral colors at first, but then I was thinking, okay, so I have to add some kind of color. So I decided on actually pink. And also, if you have watched my decorating videos before, you know that I am really sporadic when it comes to decorating because I kind of go back and forth because I find something that I feel like would fit in one room and I jump to that room and then I just completely forget what I was doing before. So I kind of jump back and forth. And it's kind of a weird way of decorating, but I feel like it works for me. So you might see me going back and forth between different rooms because I find something. And one idea I had was to do the walk-in closet, right? So I wanted to do like a really nice, just kind of like grand entry, sort of, to the walk-in closet. And so I added those like double French, I believe they're doors. And yeah, so here you can see me jumping back to the kitchen because I realized like, okay, yeah, let's just do the kitchen. I remembered about this tile that I got. I believe it's by SIMS. I absolutely love it. I didn't end up actually going with this tile. I believe I actually ended up putting it in the bathroom rather than the kitchen. But the one that I did in the kitchen is one also by SIMS. So yeah, actually you might be able to see me put that on soon, but I was kind of messing around and it felt a bit off and I wasn't sure about what exactly it was. I wasn't sure if it's just that it's too white or maybe the tiles don't work together or just something just didn't feel right. It felt really pale. And here you can see me find the pink and think about, okay, maybe I could just add some pink. And actually really unfortunately, these specific cabinets, they were like a recolor, and so basically they didn't work for some odd reason with the corner part of the cabinets. Something wasn't right, so I had to change them back to white because that wasn't messing up. And yeah, so basically I changed that back, and here you can kind of see me mess around a little more. And here the kitchen's actually starting to look a little closer to how it actually looks in the end. But of course, we still have a long way to go. But yeah, basically here you can see me adding the sink, and I wanted to add like some sort of gold touch. So I ended up doing that sink with the gold hardware because, I don't know, I love gold. Gold is like one of my most favorite things in the world. I love gold so much. I love to like put it in interiors, and I just think it adds a really nice touch. And then also I wanted to add some appliances, like, you know, the smaller appliances like microwaves and a coffee machine, and then also added a couple of others. And because this apartment is kind of small, there isn't too much space for like a dining table. And of course, yeah, it would be more so intended for a single person living there, or maybe at most 2 people living there. But what I was kind of more so intending was just 1 person. And so I just decided to do an island with 2 seats, and I thought that was more than enough for the size of the apartment and for the amount of people that would be living there. And I also put this amazing bouquet of flowers on there. Like, look at that. You can't even see it because I just jumped out of the room, but it's so pretty. I love those flowers. I don't remember what creator they're by. I believe it is Arc Botanica. So another little sneak peek is that I'm actually going to be doing another favorite creators video and I believe that's one of the creators I'm going to show off, so a little sneak peek. So yeah, that's really coming soon. But yeah, definitely check out one of those creators. Like Art Botanica is amazing for flowers. Their flowers are beautiful, so you're gonna have flowers for days after visiting that website. So yeah. And also now I kind of just found like this one like pillar that I put right next to the fridge, because I really like adding a bit of depth to rooms. I kind of recently have found that, and I really like how that looks, so I added this random like pillar. I don't know, it just kind of adds a bit more something to the room. And here you can kind of see me going into the clutter a bit, and I was trying to figure out what to do with these coffees. So I wanted to have like a little coffee corner where I have like the coffee beans, I have some syrups and stuff like that. And so you can kind of see me, I put some over there. And then I also decided to do this little tray with like oils and maybe with some spices and maybe also with some like sauces right next to the stove. So that's kind of just sitting there. Yeah, I really like how that looks, and it makes it actually look like it's kind of like really organized, and like the kitchen is kind of kept tidy, and it's like clutter, but it's not like messy in a way. So I really like that a lot. And I also added some like soy sauce or something like that. It's amazing kind of display of cookies. Really like that a lot. And yeah, so here you can kind of see I added like some bar stools, and so they're black because I felt like I needed something else. I felt like the white and the pink wouldn't quite be enough, so I wanted to add a little bit of black. Normally in interiors I would go for way more black than that, but I was like, okay, let's just try to like keep it at a minimum. And then you can kind of see me fiddling around with the couch. Because at first I was thinking, okay, let's put a couch, let's put a TV in front and stuff like that, but it was just way too small of a room, especially with the kind of island kind of poking out a little bit. So I ended up making the bedroom a bit smaller, and it ended up working out in the end technically, so you know, we're good. And yeah, so definitely the living room looks a lot better now that I pushed the wall back, because before that it was just tiny. Like, you could have honestly just put a couch against the wall, and that would have been the most that you could have done with that. And so there was this one issue I had, and that was with finding sort of like an armchair, because I wanted to have the couch that has the 2 seats, and I wanted to also have some sort of an armchair or some sort of chair also on the side, just to kind of add to it. But I added this one, and it's the one that goes with the couch. And at first I was like, okay, I kind of like that. But the thing is that actually it's very bulky. And even though I made the living room area kind of a little bigger, I felt like it was still too big. So eventually you guys are going to see that I actually take that out and I change it for something else. And then I decided to add a bit more greenery in the apartment, because I thought like probably should do that. And yeah, you know, you need greenery. And honestly, I love that tree. That tree that I put right there, it's an amazing tree. Not sure if I've ever linked it anywhere. By the way, actually, I'm going to be linking all the CC, or at least most of the CC that I used here, because some of the CC is just kind of old that I've had for a while. So it's either deleted by the creators or it's not possible to find by the creators. So I apologize for that, but I tried. It's gonna be as much as possible will be linked. But yeah, and then I wanted to do this little sort of entry sort of area where they'll be able to put their like keys, their bag when they come into the door. And so I added that. And then you can see me jump to another room because I'm jumping back and forth. And so I started out with the sort of walk-in closet. And so I have this system. I've actually used it before. I believe I created a closet sort of room build, and I used that system in that video. But yeah, I really love it. I actually found a recolor by SIMS. And so I'm not sure if I actually used it. The ones that I have here are by SIMS because they're plain white, but I actually had the slight idea to make them pink, but I felt like it was too much. You can kind of, I think you're going to be able to see me fiddling around with it and going back and forth sort of, trying to figure out if the pink looks good or not. But a little sneak peek is that I actually ended up going with the white just because I felt like that was just really clean and nice looking. And we are back at the living room, and so I tried to like figure out what to do with the couch. So for a slight moment there, I changed the couch to white. So I had the armchair right next to it, but then I decided to completely take out the armchair and added this cute little poof, and it's one of my favorite poofs. It looks so girly and so cute, and just, it's simple, but it's nice. And then I wanted to add a little bit more of a cozy feel, so I added some pillows and that really cute blanket that says "Oh baby." And then I'm moving around that plant because I felt like I wanted to move the plant more in a more central area. So I pushed that plant over there, and I believe I also sized it down by 1 just because, you know, I just felt like it would look better if I'm putting it more in a central area. Then it should probably be smaller just so it isn't like bam plant. And then I found these sort of like DIY doors that you can add, and I decided to take out the French doors and actually add these in and kind of like angle them so they sort of look like they've been half opened. And then also for a brief moment, I also had the idea to do the same thing for the bedroom, but then the walls just kind of didn't work, and the way that the like TV console or whatever you would call it was placed, it just felt like it wouldn't fit. So I ended up not doing that. And here you can see me trying to add more depth, but it just, again, didn't work. It's a lot of trial and error with decorating, honestly, in Sims. So yeah, but I feel like that's what really makes it fun. So yeah. And then I'm adding more clutter. Gotta love clutter. And so yeah, I wanted to do kind of like make it look like a tidy apartment, but with a kind of a bit of clutter to kind of make it look lived in. So that was the general idea. And yeah, so here you can see me add like a rice cooker, I believe that is, and more pillows because you can never have enough pillows. And yeah, so here I had the idea to do sort of like some shelves, and because, you know, it's a walk-in closet, I wanted to do the whole thing, you know, like the shoe shelves, the shelves of the bags, you know, the whole thing. And so in the corner I had this little gap, and I found a shelf which had sort of like this rod that was gold. Like you can kind of see like the rod that holds up the shelves was gold. And I was thinking, okay, yeah, that actually really fits nicely because I wanted to do the gold theme. So yeah. And then I just put some bags, but they were kind of like not really wanting to fit exactly how I wanted because I wanted to put more bags on it. But then I kind of ended up doing it in a zigzag sort of pattern. But I mean, it ended up working sort of. So yeah, and I just kind of like wanted to put a more neutral selection of bags, make them not too bright, but I did put one bag that was blue. I really actually like that bag, it's a pretty cute one. And then I found this fireplace, and actually I think I've also used this fireplace in other builds, I believe one other build, and it's one of my favorite fireplaces. I feel like I'm honestly using like my most favorite items and just like putting it in one place. And yeah, so then I found this like cute marble table, and I felt like it would really fit super nicely with the mirror that I had put there, so I went with that. And you can see me kind of fiddling around some flowers because I wanted to add more florals to there. And then jumping back to these shelves that I added here, I was looking for some clutter, and I felt like I had kind of a lot of clutter, but apparently I didn't, at least not for that shelf. So I ended up kind of like taking that shelf down eventually because it didn't work out. I couldn't get enough stuff. And then I ended up moving those cookies that I talked about earlier kind of to the island because I wanted to like fill up the island a little bit more to make it again look a little bit more lived in. And I found this horse set, and I felt like that fit perfectly, but it just wasn't enough. So it's a bit of a problem. And yeah, you could see me also messing around with some radiators, you know, gotta add some heating, so I added that in there. And then I realized like I actually haven't added any frames. So I added a couple of frames in there as well, because normally I go frame crazy, like I add a bunch of prints. But in this apartment, like, okay, yeah, there were quite a bit of them, but there wasn't like a lot. And I found this beautiful collage. I've actually previously featured this in one of my CC Finds videos, I believe. So it would be linked there. And of course, it will also be linked in the bunch of links that I've put in the Google Docs for you guys. So check those out down below. And yeah, so then I had this crate right here, and I was kind of moving it back and forth. I was just like, I knew that I wanted to use it, but I wasn't sure like where exactly would be the best place. So I kind of go back and forth on that. And I wanted to add something on that wall. Since I took down that shelving unit that you just saw, I wanted to put something. I wasn't sure what would it be. Would it be a print? Would it be some sort of neon light or whatever? But I ended up going with the neon light actually because I felt like it would kind of look like a cute little thing. And so yeah, and basically I ended up going with the little neon light. I'm not sure if you can really see it all too well. I was trying to fiddle around with the wallpaper colors and maybe do like a slightly light gray one, but I don't think in the end you can even see it because the walls are so bright. And I was also trying to mess around with the lighting, maybe try to like do less light so the actual neon sign is like, you know, visible. But I don't think it really worked out, to be honest. But anyways, yeah, you know, at least I told you guys it's there. We all know it's there. We're gonna pretend like it's there and we can all see it. So yeah, then I added more flowers because, you know, there's never enough flowers. The same thing with pillows, you know, never enough pillows, never enough flowers. So yeah, and then I wanted to add more clutter to the closet to kind of, again, make it look more lived in. So I added some shopping bags, and then I had the ultimate problem that I always have with these closets. So I wanted to add some like clothes in the closet. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be doing it now, but I wanted to add like clothes that are hanging in the closet, that are hanging on the rod. But I always have this issue that I can never get the clothes to sit, like the hanger to sit like right perfectly on the rod, and you can see it here. I was like trying so hard to like fit it on there, but it just would not go. So I ended up giving up and taking that out and then putting me in these sort of closets that are like mirrored, and it ended up working out in the end. I kind of actually think I did the same thing for the walk-in closet room build that I did. I had the exact same problem there, and then I ended up doing those like mirrored sort of closets. But I think it's actually really good because it really opens up the room, and because of the mirrors, you know, it kind of like mirrors, I feel like give that kind of illusion that it really opens up a room. And yeah, and also it would be kind of helpful to have a closet with an actual mirror in it. So, you know, it worked out in the end. And then I was thinking also, like, I have this little nook here where actually I can add some shoes. So I ended up just doing that and adding some shoes, and I wanted to add a little bit of a variety of them, like some heels, maybe a couple sneakers. Although this apartment sort of is more of a fashionista, probably like a single girl living her life in like a New York sort of setting, because the San Myshuno, I can never say that city name in The Sims, but you know what I'm talking about, this city. But yeah, so that city, it has the fashion district, and then in that fashion district is this apartment, and that's kind of where I got the idea that I wanted to do like a girl that just moved to the city, and she's single and she's ready to mingle, and she just kind of like wanted to do up this apartment that she found, and it wasn't very nice at first, but she felt like she could really make it into a super nice place. So that's kind of the idea, the backstory, I guess you would say. And yeah, so as you can see, the main colors that I ended up going for in the apartment, the main theme is really girly, just like a really bright apartment with touches of pink and a bit of black. In the bathroom, actually, you can notice that I'm using a bit more black, and oh my god, I love this bath mat. I haven't ever used those bath mats before, but I've had them in my game for a bit, just because I felt like I never found them and I kept forgetting about the existence of them. But I ended up searching in the search bar like bath mat or something, and that came up, and I realized like I actually have this. I've had it for so long and I always want to use it, but I always forget about it. And I feel like it's so pretty. I love it. And the other swatches there too, like they're amazing. And I definitely remember I've also linked this for you guys down below, so definitely make sure to get that because it's so cute. And then I found a set by Novas. I can't exactly recall what it was called, but I used a lot of stuff from there. So you can see the loofah, there are the towels, the towel hooks, the like little slippers, then I believe also the soap container and the little like container that holds the toothpaste and the toothbrush. And then actually I'm gonna add also a bathrobe. So I feel like it's a really cute set for just filling up a bathroom and again making it look lived in. And I have to add, I love those tiles. The like hexagon shaped tiles are recently like my most favorite type of tiles. I feel like they look so like sleek and clean and I'm just loving it. I'm really loving it. And then yeah, I also wanted to add this little toilet paper holder, and I wanted one that had a slight sort of gold touch, as you can see me trying to find something gold to add. So I found that and kind of looked gold, so I went with it. And then lastly, I also added those tiles. They're the pink version of the ones that are in the kitchen, because in the kitchen I have white ones, and then I thought like, okay, yeah, the bathroom needs a bit more pink. So I thought of that and I was like, yes, it fits perfect. I'm loving it. And then lastly, we are going into the bedroom. That's the kind of last full room we got here. And for the bedroom, I wanted to kind of continue the theme that I have in the rest of the apartment. So I wanted to do something really just like bright and with some pinks. But I felt like actually I ended up going with a slightly more boho theme in the room, but it's very slightly. I feel like just the macrame is really making it look a little bit more boho. I love that macrame. I'm not sure if I've actually used that one before, but I love it. It looks really realistic and it's super nice, and it's definitely also linked. So yeah, definitely get that. And yeah, some really cute bedding that's in kind of like this dusky pink color. And then also we have some bedside tables. So the bedside tables that I wanted to use were basically ones that were very small, because again, we're working with kind of a tight space here. So I ended up finding these and I felt like, honestly, they look really good. So I went with them, and then you can see me adding a slight bit of a gold touch again, because I realized I don't actually have a lot of gold stuff in my game at this point in time. So that's something that I should definitely get more of. But I found these lamps and they have this gold base, and also those are one of my favorite lamps as well. So yeah, loving those. And yeah, so pretty much then I found these rugs. Actually, I ended up not going with that one, but I think I ended up going with this one. So I kind of doubled them up to make them kind of look like they fit around the bed, to kind of just adjust the size and make it perfect for the room. And I also added this slight little fluffy rug in front of the mirror originally, but ended up taking that mirror out because I wanted to actually add a bit of a workspace, because in this apartment there wasn't any like office, or there wasn't any even workspace before that. So I wanted to add a desk where they would have their computer and stuff like that. And then I had this idea to basically move the mirror to that whole wall, so it's like a whole mirrored wall, and I think I really like that look a lot. So yeah, and then I kind of wanted to make it again look very lived in, so I added like the MacBook in rose gold to match the whole vibe of the room. I added the super cute acrylic chair with like a little fluffy kind of throw over it to make it look a little bit more comfy. And here you can see me adding those prints. So yeah, again, a bit more of a gold touch in there. And yeah, and then basically just added this like set of drawers just for extra storage, you know, since they don't really have like an office space. I guess that would be somewhere where they would be able to put their officey documents, whatnot. And then I found this really cute bookend, and it kind of like, I'm not sure what it even is. And I wanted to use it a lot, but I felt like it wouldn't work in the room, so I ended up doing a bit of a different bookend. And then I decided to kind of clutter it up again. So I added more flowers and kind of fiddled around with it to make sure it actually looks like it fits on the set of drawers. Again, wanted to add a bit more depth to the walls, so I tried to mess around with those columns again. But I felt like it didn't look right, like it just wasn't like, it didn't feel like it fit, so I took that off. And here you can see me again trying to figure out what am I doing next. I don't even know what I'm doing next. Oh yeah, so basically I wanted to add a bit more clutter on the table. So I ended up, I believe, adding some like set of pens and like pencils, like a pencil holder, I guess. That little calendar planner thing, and a couple more things, and then I jumped back to the kitchen because I realized that I could add more to the island. So for a split second I jumped back and actually added like this like kind of cutting board or something with like a nice loaf of bread, you know, a nice presentation. And then overall on the desk here I added some more flowers. I added this nice little cup of coffee to, you know, really make it look like a workspace and stuff like that. And then I felt like that wall really needed something, so I ended up just kind of going with these kind of mirrors. And yeah, so the last idea I had was to basically add a big plant in this room. So I knew that this room, again, doesn't really have any greenery, so I was messing around with that, and I was trying to add this, and I'll also add this plant right there. You can see me adding that for a split second, and I absolutely love that. And yeah, I also added a really big plant in the bedroom as well. So I believe this is everything. We're moving to the end now and moving to the screenshots. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Definitely make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell down below to be notified when I upload next. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye!